Hey, good morning. It's Dr. Ashley Romanchuk, and this is my weekly focused breath group, Pranayama, Kriya Yoga. If you're new to class, welcome. If you have been coming to this class for a while, we have been playing with almost the same breaths for 6 weeks. To do all of them in 1 hour in the morning, we can't, so I change them up, at least keep it from being too boring for those that like things changed up. These breaths that we've been working with, well, they're introductory to just tuning in and breathing, central channel. Introductory to energy, changing our energy, coming into sattvic energy. Very detoxifying breaths, very also oxygenating breaths for those that are really here just because they're wearing masks right now. Lots of yoga philosophy has been taught, and I've decided I'm going to do this in a series. Not sure if my thing's on. Let's see if it's working. Oh yeah, it's working. And that is because the breaths that we've been practicing need to be practiced. And then I have given I've given a lot of knowledge, but I've given very basic knowledge for really getting into yoga. And then it's about practice, and it's about self-discipline. And yoga is all about the self. So going back through my videos for the next, well, definitely few weeks. I think I'll start the series 2 in November 1st, tentatively. But going back and playing with these breaths yourself, really getting what's it called? Like personal with those breaths, like practicing them. So go back through the videos because it's about practice of the same breath over and over, and I find I've given enough videos that people can go back and it's not going to be that boring. 6 weeks of videos is quite a lot of videos, and that allows me to also get back into my practice. I have lots of continuing education to do for the rest of October, and what you also learn within yoga is you just follow yourself. So even in life too, and it's kind of funny, right? We have this life where we're taught we're supposed to do the same thing over and over, and then people wonder whether they're depressed or like not happy in life. And so for me, I find I've been breathing with the group, but it's actually taken me away from my yogic practice. So I gave kind of what I could back, and now I've got to go back with myself, and then I'll come back with people, and that's knowledge of self, knowledge of boundaries, and very important. So, as always, this class runs by donation. Email transfer to my email, akromanchuk@gmail.com, akromanchuk@gmail.com. And spread the good word. If you're on YouTube, after I post this on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and let people know that they can be delving into yoga. Oh yes, something I wanted to say today. So a friend introduced me to the book, The Untethered Soul, yesterday. And when you come from reading the very old sacred texts, like most books on wisdom and whatever, you're like, okay, well, I get all this anyway. And not just reading, like I practice, obviously. And so I listened to a little bit of the audiobook, and it's just what I thought. It's yoga. And so far it's nothing that I don't know and practice, but it is a very good, you can listen to the audiobook or read the book, The Untethered Soul, for people that are just kind of getting into yoga. It's a very good instructional manual for yoga and learning how to sense self, who is self, watch your mind, realize that your thoughts are not you, watch your thoughts come and go, be the observer, be the witness. I've only made it into chapter 2 or 3, so I'm going to continue listening to the book. Whoever wrote it, or it's a very, very mentalized, which is what the teachings are, right? It's a lot of mental energy, but the thing is you have to practice it. So it's about spending time with yourself and starting to be like, oh, okay, like, and as far as the book I've been in so far, I'm not the mental chatter in my mind, and anyway. So going into breathing, open the window. If you're new to class, we're going to go into our proper alignment posture. If you haven't been to class before, at this point, yeah, going back over my past classes, because I do have a lot of the foundation and structure. And I'm going to start continuing for people that have been coming to class regularly. I'm not sure if my thing's working. It's really, I guess it's working. Okay. So we're going to just tune in by tuning in to our breath. So just starting to notice the breath. This is the way we do it. Breathing in through the nose. How do you feel today? I've been waking up ridiculously early, personally. I don't know why. Like 5:30 in the morning, which is so early for me. I've already been up for several hours. I've already done breath work, but I'll do some more. So breathing in. Sigh on your way out if you wish. Start breathing in for a count of 4. Just letting it out. Also practicing the catching your breath part. So not breathing in until you want to breathe in. Keep your tongue up against the upper palate of your mouth, behind your front teeth, and simply notice your central channel right here. This is Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is actually just noticing the breath. Breathing in, Breathing out, watching the channel rise, watching the channel fall. Definitely let out some sighs if that's what your body needs. It's a good way to dissipate stress from the body. Lots of people in North America are stressed out, for sure. Are your abdominal muscles engaged? Because we're not sloppy and lazy, we are up, okay? Sitting on a mat, I've gone over the proper postures in my post videos. Sit bones planted, your abdominal muscles are engaged. Your diaphragm's a muscle, we are training the diaphragm properly and expanding the lungs, and this needs muscles to be very much like I say, ballet posture. You are using your body, and that's why we have a lot of yoga introduced to North America, mostly being like postures to be strong and flexible. You can do this just from sitting. So ab muscles in and up, shoulders down and back, spine straight. There's a ribbon up to the sky. Your forehead, nose, and chin are back towards the back wall, and we are simply inhaling through our nose for a count of 4. Let it out. Smile while you do so. Going to Nadi, shodana. Doing everything. Every class is different because if you're somebody like me, I get bored doing the same thing. But it's important to have the same thing going on. So we're practicing the same breaths, which I suggest practicing if you're new to these breaths. Literally, I suggest just practicing these breaths for months. That's why I'm giving a break with series, so you can just keep practicing the same thing over and over. But I'm switching up the way we do it. So let's go into Nadi Shodana next, okay? So pinky, ring finger, left nostril, middle, pointer finger, third eye, and thumb on the right nostril. We're breathing in the right nostril for a count of 4. Plug the right nostril. Breathe out the left nostril for a count of 4. Breathe in the left nostril for a count of 4. Plug the left nostril. Breathe out the right nostril for a count of 4. Repeat. Count on your own. Let's all do this together. Okay, so pinky and ring finger, left nostril, middle and pointer finger, third eye, and thumb on your right nostril. Starting with your right nostril, breathe in for a count of 4. Last round. Keep your head where it is. Stay very still. Breathe through your nose. Notice already how different you are. Breath work heals the body without a doubt. The whole point of asana and pranayama and well, even mantra in a little ways is to settle the energy of the body to come into a meditative state so that one may enter samadhi. And samadhi is where the real comprehension of yoga, the union of mind, body, soul occurs, the comprehension of this reality in the universe. What is I? Let's go into 4-7-8 breathing. So this is the breath that really strengthens the lungs and the cardiovascular heart system. We breathe in through our nose for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and you breathe out for a count of 8. Very difficult breath. As I said, if you can only do 1 or 2 and have to breathe like a normal person with just normal breaths in between, that is fine, then jump back in, okay? It takes a long time to get these systems back into shape if we've had them out of shape for a while, okay? Everybody must count on their own. And practice catching your breath. So only breathing in when you want to, okay? This keeps you from basically hyperventilating and breathing out of connection with source energy, okay? So breathe in for 4, restrain the breath, and that's just zip it up. Notice how it feels. Breathe out for 8 and breathe out for the whole count of 8. When you get to 7 and 8, you're pushing out the last little bits of breath and air from your lungs, and you're really strengthening your central channel, and this breath can even give you some good abdominal muscles down lower here, okay? So everybody count on your own, breathe in for 4, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. Last round. And then just breathe normally through your nose and out through your nose. Or mouth. And with how different you might feel. Let's do some of our oxygenating breaths. So big breaths in through the mouth and then out. Of course, only waiting till when you actually want to inhale. Not restraining the breath on the way out, just letting it go. Strengthens our diaphragm, and this breath very much oxygenates the blood very quickly. Okay, it's like a yawn, doing several yawns at once. So if you're tired in life, throughout your day, do a few of these breaths and you'll probably feel better. But also going to sleep early. People, we all need good sleep. It's how you live long. This breath, like just feeling the breath move in through the back of your throat and down. It's cool. And this is also how breathing gets you inward, right? Which is yoga. We want to take our senses inward, start to notice ourselves. Smile while you're doing it. Take a stretch if you wish. Let out a sigh if you wish, for sure. Okay, let's go into Ujjayi breaths. This is the breath of the seashore. We're moving our energy in our body, and well, we've got other bodies, right? Etheric, auric. So, the breath of the seashore, we have practiced this. Constrict the back of the palate. Starts to very much sound like the seashore. Being annoying. Thank you. Or everybody just breathe normally for a little bit. And because I like to change up the classes, we're going to do a lot of Kalabhati breathing. Okay, so we went through some of our basic breaths quickly so that we have time to really focus on Kalabhati, which is the shining skull breath. Very detoxifying. It really, really increases your spiritual energy. This is the breath that they say that you could just do this breath and you will become enlightened. You do actually inhale by your diaphragm recoiling with this breath. As all of these breaths, they are practice. Okay, so if you can only do a few puffs and then have to go to normal breath and then jump back in, do that. So of all the 6-week classes, this is going to be the most Kalabhati breathing. This is a breath that is safe to do for a long time. You have to make sure you're doing it properly, though. So paying attention to what I'm saying is very important. I have given already the teachings of Kalabhati breath, shining skull breath. We use our second drum muscle. Oh, I hate when cat hair gets on. I love my cat, but I don't like the cat hair. Using our second chakra drum muscle. This is just above our pubic bone, just below our belly button. I'm so funny. I totally reside, I've been this way since I was born. I totally reside in the realm above words. So when I try to use words, like even though I speak the English language, sometimes I'll be like, I want to say something and there is nothing, absolutely nothing in my head to come out. And I'm like, word, I don't even think like that. Like it's not like that. It's like, I'm a blank slate. I've been that way since I was born. So me forming words, I'm like, ugh, this is so dense, such a dense realm. This muscle right here. And Kalabhati breath, we focus on the out breath. So we use this muscle right here and just breathe out. We don't have to breathe in. Our diaphragm recoils and breathes in for us. So as a class together, let's practice this. So very simple. Try it again, because we want to make sure we're doing this properly, and this strengthens this muscle here, which is actually very important muscle. So also we start this breath on an empty channel. So breathe in, let it out. Practice. Practice. Okay? So once you get used to that, you might have to just practice that part for a while. We go into full Kalabhati breath. And if you just get your mind set on only focusing on the outhale, you'll stay in the right place. Okay, so this breath, you always start with an empty channel. moment in between. If you're still just practicing this breath, that's good. Keep practicing. So we breathe in, empty the channel. Simple. Let's do it again. Make it strong. Like a bull. Just like that. For those of you that think they got it, let's do the whole round again. So we breathe in. Let it out. Breathe in. Let it up. Breathe normal for a few minutes. Second, you don't want to be hyperventilating with this breath, okay? So you want to be very conscious. Practice the very basics of breath out only through the nose. You don't want to be in between going, okay? That's hyperventilating. Nope. This breath, the recoil of the diaphragm brings the breath in for you. So just breathing normal. I love reading random pieces of knowledge, and this is from my own, okay? So I've had a path where I speak, like it's like I innately know knowledge. I started to read astrology. My Mercury and my Saturn sit on, I think it's Scorpio 17th. It's apparently like the area where you speak the truth of God. That's the degree of the zodiac. But people are like, prove it. I don't believe you. You're just a young child. Blah, 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 blah. So I've had this path where I'm like, ugh. So whatever, I'll go to the sacred texts and I'll be like, look, it's the same thing that I said, but it's said in the Bhagavad Gita, it's said in the Yogic Sutras. Maybe you'll think that, anyways, this comes from me. It's this, all of this. It's meant to teach. This is sacred. Your journey is spiritual. Do what you love. Slow down. When it feels sacred, stay there. Keep there. The sacred is the purpose. Find out what that is to you. Okay, let's go more into another round. So we're going to breathe in, breathe out. Remember, that's the lion's breath. So you'll attune to your body and you'll start to know what breath to do. So when you all of a sudden have heat that you're like, I'm going to let this out, lion's breath. Okay, we're going to go into another round of Kalabhati. Some say Kapalabhati. It's parallel, similar to Vastrika, or the breath of fire. It's just a bit different. Again, if you're just catching on, let's go to the very basics of it, because this breath is very important to do properly. Okay, so you breathe in, breathe out, empty your channel. Use your drum. Breath out only from your nostrils. That's it. Don't worry about the inhale at all. Breathe in to empty the channel. Breathe out. It's like you're pushing the last little breaths out. But what it's doing is it's actually like strengthening your inner channel. It's almost like the opposite of what you normally breathe like. Okay, I'm going to go into another round. So if you're breathing with me, get ready. If you're just practicing the very basics of this, remember, use your drum, breath out of your nose. That's it. Make sure your channel is empty first. Okay, so those that are breathing with me, we're going to breathe in, empty the channel, and then we start. Wait until your body needs to inhale, and then we'll go pause and then go for another round. Okay, so this is a really neat breath. It's really changing your central channel. Okay, inhale, exhale. I find when I talk and I try to do that, it really disrupts me. So I'm going to be quiet. Everybody's got the basics. You start doing this, because that's also why I'm taking a pause from this, because this will also teach you can't speak and breathe at the same time. So I've actually found through teaching these classes, because I've had to be speaking and teaching and then breathing, it's actually kind of disrupted me. And I find it been like sighing and my energy's been different. I've all of a sudden got more fire, and I'm like, okay, so I need to take a breath pause. From teaching, you all can go through my past classes, and then I can attune back into myself and then come back and teach more for the next series. So, talking too much. I think this is one of the most important pieces of knowledge that the Rig Veda teaches. This one verse says, the human body is the temple of God. One who kindles the light of awareness gets true light. The sacred flame of your inner shrine is constantly bright. The experience of unity is the fulfillment of human endeavors. The mysteries of life are revealed. And the one or ones who truly understand this if you don't quite understand it, I would say, but who am I? Everybody's like, who are you? Maybe I am a messenger. Possible. You could focus on one thing in your life. Me, Ashley. My middle name is Christina. I think this is the most important thing you could learn and gain and comprehend. It's the truth. I'm going to end with an Om, as I always do. Please join me. It's an AUM. You can practice like that. Is higher. The and it's different ways to practice it. I played with the Om, the sound of God. You can feel the swoosh. You can see why it's in the and you get it. Make each breath a prayer.